Who that? Who that?
Yeah, who is that? And I bet nobody knows. I mean, well, there's going to be some people that know, but the majority of people do not know. That's Cab Calloway.
Rhythm and soul.
Rhythm and soul, and I don't know what they called it back then. I don't know what they called it back then. That's a 1930s or 1940s song. Oh, we're rocking. Listen, this was the thing, okay? Yeah, they were killing it back then. So, and it's all really, it's all live. It's natural instruments, horns. All those instruments you heard were real. No synthesizers, horns, and more horns. Half the band was made out of horns. They had alto sax, trumpets, trombones. Bada boom. They were reeling and dealing. Anyway, welcome. Major Way Sports Network on Thursday. Thursday is the Western Conference. So it's the NBA on Thursday. Here we are on the March 30th, 223rd year of our Lord Jesus Christ. We are rocking in Boston and in Naples. I am Clay Morris. This is Eric James over there. We're going to bring to you the NBA with no sacred cows, which makes us special. We don't hold anything back. It was a packed Wednesday night. 10 games, right? 10 games. Yeah. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to start right off. We're going to start off with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks traveled to Indiana to take on the, what are they? The Pacers.
Indiana Pacers.
The Indiana Pacers. And you want to know who won? Yeah, well, you didn't have to guess too hard. Yeah, they put it to him. They put it to him 149 to 136. There was no defense played in this league. I mean, in this game. The Bucks scored 149 points to the Pacers 136. We're going to start off with the losers first. Now, the losers, they didn't have Tyrese Halliburton, the leading scorer. So they subbed in Jordan Nwora. Jordan Nwora came in, and he shot 7 for 14 and gave you 18 points. Aaron Nesmith. Aaron will get you 6 one game, and he'll get you 22 like he got you this game. 7 for 9 shooting. If you're shooting 7 for 9, if anybody notices on the team that this guy is hot, he's not missing anything, he's 7 for 9, give him the ball. Give him the ball, everybody. 7 for 9. Now, 5 for 5 from the three-point line. And they didn't pass him the ball more. He didn't shoot more than 9 times. Because Isaiah Jackson figures, well, I got to get mine. He went 4 for 10 for 9 points. Andrew Nebhard, 6 for 15 for 15 points. And Benedict Mathurin, who's never going to pass up a shot, 11 for 21 for 29 points. Okay. Off the bench, Jalen Smith gave him 17. O'Shea Brissett gave him 12. And TJ McDonald gave him 12. But it wasn't enough. Nope, it wasn't enough. That was it. The 5 plays gave him 43 points off the bench, but it wasn't enough because the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo, he wasn't even the leading scorer, guys. Okay, but let's just go to it. Giannis, 14 for 18 for 38 points. 38 points. He didn't shoot not one three-pointer, everybody. Screw it. Not shooting any three-pointers. 14 for 18, 38 points. Brook Lopez, 9 for 14, 21 points. Jrue Holiday, 20 for 30 for 51 points. 51 points. Then you had Javon Carter, 3 for 6, 8 points. And my man, Grayson Allen. Grayson, you ain't going to be there long. Because when there's a person out like Chris Middleton was out, you're supposed to get some shots up. And you only shot the ball 3 times. Sorry to tell you, Grayson, but Javon Carter is going to be taking your place really soon. As soon as you come back, you're going to be the odd man out. Javon Carter is going to be on that floor taking your place because at least he does try to shoot the ball and make something happen, unlike you. You're holding back the team. Bobby Portis came off the bench, was 5 for 7 for 12 points. 7 players came off the bench for 28 points. And that was the name of the – now, they have a coach, Budenholzer, and a GM, John Horst, was the executive of the year in 2019. And that's the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks seem to stay on top. They get players who fit in. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Unlike the Mavericks.
Unlike the Mavericks. You get players who fit in. Who passed the ball to one another.
Ooh, boy. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. All right, we got Houston Rockets went on down to New Jersey. And as you would know, Houston being 18-59, the Nets being 41-35. Guess who won?
Yeah, that's right. It's the Nets.
123 to 114.
123 to 114, everybody.
Yes. So let's check it out. Mr. Jabari Smith Jr. gave him 40 minutes, 5 of 14 shooting for 12 points. Mr. Kenyon Martin Jr. gave him 34 minutes, 6 of 13 shooting for 15 points. Mr. Alperen Sengun gave him 33 minutes, 10 of 16 shooting for 21 points. And Mr. Kevin Porter Jr. gave him 40 minutes, 11 of 22 shooting for 31 points. Not bad.
Not bad.
And Mr. Jalen Green gave him 32 minutes, 5 of 13 shooting for a big 14 points.
That's what they had.
And then we had Mr. Josh Christopher came off the bench for 17 minutes, gave him 14 points.
Somebody had
21 points off the bench total, and they lost.
Well, Houston has lost a lot this year. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much just doing the same thing that they've been doing.
I think they're getting ready for a big boost. Once they get the little trade stuff in, and they're gonna get somebody over there soon.
Really?
I'm gonna put that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's a GM paying you to put this out there. The GM, Raphael Stone. Is Raphael Stone gave you a call and said, listen, I want you to go out there and say we're building for the future. We got some trades up our sleeve. We're gonna make it happen.
That's it.
All right. All right. He says so. Go, Raphael.
Let's see. Dorian Finney-Smith gave the Brooklyn Nets 27 minutes, 2 of 8 shooting for 6 points.
He was the weakest link.
He was. Cameron Johnson, 36 minutes, 11 of 18 shooting for 31 points. Mr. Bridges, Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
He gave him 40 minutes, 8 of 17 shooting for 27 points. Mr. Nick Claxton.
Yep.
35 minutes, 8 of 10 shooting for 18 points.
Good job. No 3-pointers. Just take the ball to the basket.
Mr. Spencer Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie.
38 minutes, 8 of 11 shooting for 20 points. And the bench is nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about. 6 plays played, gave you 21 points. But this guy, Cam Johnson, he was traded. That's now this guy, Sean Marks, he managed to get a lot of good players. Not that the players worked out. Who knows why? I have a feeling it had to do with Kyrie, but Kyrie's your man, and you're going to disagree. But he was able to go out and acquire these players. The GM, Sean Marks.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the plays he demanded for Kevin Durant was Mikal Bridges. Now, the line on Mikal Bridges right there. No, actually, Cam Johnson. 11 for 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll get you in the win column when the guy shoots 11 for 18. Unbelievable. Next,
I think the Nets aren't too bad.
They're not bad. They're
Not
not
too
bad. They
bad.
need a little seasoning.
Mhm.
They need a veteran player, but we'll get into that later. It's not their time. It's the West Coast time, so I can't devote too much time to the East Coast right now. The Miami Heat with Erick Spoelstra as their coach and Pat Riley as the GM traveled to New York, where New York usually loses because they're playing at home, because Knicks fans like to root for the other team. They like to show that they're not biased. They're ultra elite. They're not biased. So when you come to New York, they'll root for you too. Even though their team's fighting for a playoff spot in the whole 9 yards, they don't care. You look kind of good. They'll be out there clapping. Yeah, good job. He's a great. You're supposed to boo that guy. But anyway, Miami Heat traveled and they lost. They lost to the New York Knicks 92-101. Or we could just turn it around. The New York Knicks won 101-92. However you want to look at it, the Knicks won and the other team lost. So let's just get to that point there. Knicks won. Knicks won. Knicks won. Knicks won. Miami, start off with the losers first. Kevin Love, that big pickup that Pat Riley just had to have. At the end of that season, that big pickup played. Kevin Love played 16 minutes. He was 2 for 8, 1 for 7 and 3 points. And he gave you a big, I can count on one hand, 5 points. 5 points. See these, count these fingers, that's 5. That's what he gave. And he only played 16 minutes. But what the heck?
They figured 5 points.
Yeah. Okay, then Jimmy Butler came in. I don't know. See, Jimmy's got to file a grievance. See, Kevin gets to play 16 minutes, and Jimmy gets in. Now, they're both starters, but Jimmy has to play 35 minutes. That's not fair. He played 35 minutes, and he actually he wasn't much better than Kevin.
7 more points.
Yeah. He gave him 12 points, Jimmy did. They're just working Jimmy too hard. Bam Adebayo, another guy that they made played 35 minutes. Was 4 for 10 for 9 points. Gabe Vincent, what the heck was going on? 31 minutes, 8 for 11, 21 points. Gabe Vincent is the highest scorer on the team. Gabe Vincent, okay? And then Tyler Hero came on. He played 36 minutes. They played him even more than they played either Bam or Jimmy. He was 6 for 16, 2 for 10 for 3-point line for 16 points. They gave a total of 63 points. All right, they got 29 points from the bench, 12 from Duncan Robinson. That's all, 20, so you can just deduct that from out of there. But what is going on? Not that I really care. Victor Oladipo, Victor, you need to get traded to another team. All right, Victor, because they're just doing you wrong. You got game, but they won't let you get off the bench. They got to put Tyler Hero in there and Gabe Vincent. Oh, who the heck is going on there? Anyway. Bad news for the Knicks, even though they won. Julius Randle went out with a sprained ankle. That's right. He only played 15 minutes, scored 3 points, and he was gone for the night. Somehow they pulled it off because Miami just completely stunk up the joint. Mitchell Robinson, who doesn't score that much, generally follows the same pattern. He played 9 minutes and gave you 2 points. Jalen Brunson played 30 minutes and gave you 12 points. R.J. Barrett played 34 minutes and gave you a silent 12 points. The most silent point scorer that I know of in the NBA. You never know if he scored or if he didn't. Quentin Grimes played 36 minutes and gave you 23 points. Quentin, who's one of the least paid players on the team, had to rescue them. Emmanuel quickly came off the bench for giving 24. Josh Hartley came off the bench for 13. 4 players gave you 55 points. And the starters gave you 52. The bench players gave you 55, and there you go. That's what happened. The Knicks somehow won at home.
Yeah, 81-1. They're still in the running, though.
They are.
Mavericks, my lovely team, Dallas Mavericks.
The Dallas Mavericks. This is going to hurt you to call this game. Basically, you're calling it or announce it because your heart is in Dallas. I know it.
What's going on with Dallas? You picked up Kyrie, which when he's in his right space, he's a great player. But you can't get Luke Doncic. You can't get Mr. Doncic to cooperate. What is the problem?
You are so heated, you can't even pronounce the guy's name, even though you say it every week. Get it out. Come on, let the anger out.
Luka Doncic. Come on, man. All right. Let's see. Well, they are the losing link. So we'll talk about the losing link first. Tim Hardaway gave you 36 minutes, 8 of 15 shooting, gave him 21 points. Mr. Bullock, Reggie Bullock, a big 3 for 10. Shooting in 7 points. What is going on? Nobody's getting the ball.
Nobody. Well, it's tough out there. You got to fight for that ball. Do you want
Mr.
it?
Dwight, hey, Mr. Dwight Powell. He's the center. He gave 11 minutes, 1-for-1 shooting, and he gave him 3 points.
1-for-1.
Holy smoke!
Wow, 1-for-1.
Kyrie Irving. He played 40 minutes. You got a point guard out there for 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
8 of 17 shooting, gave you 23 points.
That just
the
hurts.
guy, the Batman of the show.
Batman.
Doncic, 37 minutes, 9 of 20 shooting for a big 24 points. However, if you would have spread some wealth around, stop being so greedy, you might win a game.
You look, also got your 10 rebounds.
Yeah, well, he can't play the game by himself.
He thinks he can.
Well, he can, and this is the result you'll get.
Yeah, well, obviously you can't. Yeah, he's not doing a good job of pleading his case that he can get it done. No, he looks pretty bad. Nope. Luka. A lot of people don't like that I compared Luka to Kobe in terms, because Kobe, the scorer and the whole 9 yards. But in terms of ball hogging, that's the reason why they didn't let Kobe bring the ball up, and they got to do the same with Luka.
You're not a point guard, Luka. You take too long to get up the other end of the court.
You take forever to get up the floor anyway.
By the time you get there, defense is shut up. That's already set up, and that's why you can't always get your shot up. If you would have moved the ball, Luka, get into your sweet spot, you'd be guaranteed some better shots.
Wait a second. He'd have to pass the ball for that.
My point. Moving on, Philadelphia. Mr. P.J. Tucker, 19 minutes.
Leon.
1 of 3 shooting for 2 points. What happened to P.J.?
I don't know, man. This is a recurring story every week, every game. Same thing. 2, 4, 6 points. Wow. How'd you keep a job?
Hey, because we call it contract. Mr. Tobias Harris, 33 minutes, 5 of 7 shooting for 13 points.
13 points.
Joel Embiid, 33 minutes, 8 of 17 shooting, big 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, 37 minutes, 6 of 13 shooting for 22 points. James Harden.
Mr. Iceman.
38 minutes, 4 of 14 shooting for a big 15 points.
Wait, I thought he said his calf is hurting him. Why they got him out at 38 minutes? They're supposed to push his time back. If the guy's halfway injured, I mean, who's coaching this team?
If his calf is hurt and he needs some physical therapy, you get the physical therapy while you're on court. So 20 of those minutes of physical therapy.
Wow. Wow. I tell you, man. Tough coach. You be a tough coach, man.
Hey, you got to make it work, brother. Make it work. Mr. Melton. DeAnthony Melton came off the bench, 33 minutes for 17 points. Mr. George. He came off the bench, 19 minutes and 14 points. The rest of the bench gave him 8 points, so he didn't do too bad. But Philly won, 116 to 108.
And you know what? I just remembered Doc Rivers is their coach.
So you got to work.
And that Doc is working them?
He worked.
Doc, you better save this old dude. Man. And listen, you should only play them half. Who are you playing again? You're playing the Mavericks. Yeah. The Mavericks outscored them in the first quarter. Philadelphia outscored them in the second quarter. Then outscored them in the third quarter. Then outscored them by 10 in the fourth quarter. You had this game. Rest James Harden. Put some of these other guys out there. Let them get some game. Shake Milton. Montrezl Harrell has not got off the bench in ages. Don't know what to do with him.
He's waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting for his time to get out the league. I get to cover the next game. It is my pleasure to bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, and all over the world, the Lakers went to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bulls. Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers traveled to Chicago to take on the Bulls. And the Lakers won. Yes, the Lakers won, ladies and gentlemen. They're moving up the charts, rising like a bullet toward the top of the league, at least in the Western Conference. The Lakers came across and won the game 121 to 110. 121 to 110. LeBron James is back. It pains me to say this. Yes, he's back. So let's just start off with the losers. Obviously, the Chicago Bulls. And yeah, the Chicago Bulls who traded to get Pat Beverly because they were making that playoff run. Yeah, that all-important playoff run.
Ooh, wait till you see how many points he hit.
Yeah, they had to get Pat Beverly in order to make a playoff run. That's what they told everybody. We're picking up Pat Beverly because we're making a playoff run. So let's get to it, everybody. The Chicago Bulls. Well, DeMar DeRozan, steady Eddie, 9 for 15, 20 points. Minus 20 in the plus-minus column. So this game was like a
22 points. 22 points.
22 points. The minus 20 in the plus-minus column. So, this game was a runaway. It gets even worse. Nikola Vucevic, 12 for 16, 29 points. Not bad. Still a minus 22 in the plus-minus. And then we have Pat Beverly, the guy that Chicago just had to get. Oh, my gosh. We just need Pat Beverly. And if we get Pat Beverly, we're going to be a playoff contending team. Yes. He played 25 minutes. Was 0 for 5. 0 points.
Stop shooting.
What's the point at this? Doesn't
They
matter.
take him out. They didn't take him
gonna
out, but at least stop shooting.
What you see his plus minus?
Yeah. 32.
32 plus minus. Minus 32 in the plus minus column. He led the team in plus minus minutes. He's supposed to be a defensive specialist. You do know this, everybody, right? Pat Beverly's a defensive specialist. Yet
He got one steal. One block, one steal.
Yet he gave up, when he was out there, he gave up more points than anybody else. So what are we talking about here? Alex Caruso, the shortest man in the league. He was only a minus 15, a minus 5, but he played 19 minutes, gave you 5 points, 5 more points than Pat Beverly did. And Zach LaVine, 8 for 14. Zach says, I just don't really care. I'll just get some shots up and call it a day. Yeah, Zach was 8 for 14 for 16 points. The bench, 7 players combined to give you 38 points. Most notably was Kobe White. Kobe White actually did give a darn. He was 6 for 11, 3 for 7 from the three-point line for 17 points. And Ayo Dosunmu. Remember that name, Ayo Dosunmu. He played 19 minutes, was 5 for 9 for 12 points. And that was the name of that too. Oh, I forgot it. You know what? Maybe subconsciously I just didn't want to say anything about the Lakers, but here we go. Anthony Davis. I used to like this guy when he was with the Pelicans. All that changed. Anthony Davis is now a Laker. A pretty darn good player, I must admit. 39 minutes, 13 for 20.
He missed 7 shots. Okay.
Yeah, 13 for 20. Free throw line. He was 11 for 14 for 38 points. Jarrett Vanderbilt. I don't know who he is, but seems to be doing pretty well. Played 25 minutes for 8 points. LeBron James, 31 minutes, 10 for 19 for 25 points. D'Angelo Russell, 36 minutes, 7 for 12, 17 points. And Austin Reeves, 29 minutes, 7 for 8 for 19 points. The bench gave him 14 points. He only got 14 points from 7 players off the bench. But I want to point something out to everybody. What I pointed out last week. Pointed out when the Pelicans played the Lakers. The free throw disparity that happens with every team that plays the Los Angeles Lakers. Just magically, let's just look at this. Oh, the Lakers were 24 for 30. They shot 30 free throws, and they made 24 of them. And, wow, the Chicago Bulls, they were 11 for 13. They only shot 13 free throws and made 11. Magically, every week, every game, bound to happen. 2-1, the free throw disparity will be in favor of the Fakers.
Come on now. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I dig for this stuff. I dig for it.
Next, we got the Clippers and the Grizzlies. The Clippers 41 and 36, and the Grizzlies at 48 and 28. They went on down and played the Grizzlies. You got the Clippers. The Clippers, they won.
They won. That's right.
141 to 132.
Went to Memphis. Dropped that flying elbow on them.
Oh, let's see. Let's see what we got. Santi Aldama, 33
Man.
minutes, 6 of 7 shooting for 17 points. Oh, no.
Yo, yes.
Did it just do that? Mr. Tillman, Xavier Tillman, 31 minutes, 7 of 8 shooting for a big 16 points.
17 points.
Mr. Dylan Brooks, 34 minutes, 12 of 14 shooting for 30 points. Okay, Dylan. Mr. Ja Moran is back.
He's back, baby.
35 minutes, 11 of 28 shooting for 36 points. Mr. Kennard, Luke Kennard, 33 minutes, 5 of 9 shooting for 12 points. The bench didn't even really show up.
4 players played, gave him 21
points.
Can't get nothing out of that.
Yeah, we're not doing nothing there.
Nothing out of that one. Are we here? Should we get up? Coach, do I have to go out there?
I got to stand up when I play.
Man, my knee hurts.
From the chair.
My knee hurts, Coach.
Let's see what the Clippers did. Nicholas Batum, 19 minutes, 1 of 5 shooting for a big 4 points.
He was the weakest link.
He was. Ivica Zubac, 23 minutes, 4 of 7 shooting for a big 10 points. Our man.
Mr.
Russell Westbrook, 36 minutes, 36 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess I do.
18 shooting, 5 of 5 from 3. All right.
8 for 18. 13 for 18. 13 for 18. Look, he only missed 5 shots.
Russell Westbrook,
5 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Cheering for him for now.
Wait a minute, they traded him off the Lakers. They said he couldn't shoot a 3-pointer.
He had all his 3-pointers.
In the same building. No, I guess they were playing. They're playing in Memphis today.
Yeah, there's another place.
Yeah.
Oh man, Eric Gordon.
My man.
Minutes, 3 of 6 shooting for
Terrence
14
Mann.
points. Terrence Mann
From the Field of Dreams.
5 minutes, 3 of 6 shooting for 11 points. And Mr. Covington.
That's Robert Covington.
Robert Covington came off the bench, 32 minutes for 27 points. And Mr. Highland, Big Bones Highland, 22 minutes, 8 of 14 shooting for a big 20 points. And Norman Powell gave him 13 points. Hey, it wasn't too bad. It was working, man.
No, 4 players came off the bench and gave him 56 points. But Robert Covington was look at this stat line. 9 for 9 in field goals, 7 for 7 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
Everybody needs a bench play to come off something like that. You know what? You got a bench play coming off hitting that.
Clippers was hitting also. They might be that sleeper team this year.
You know what? With Paul George gone and them having to play some of these other players, Batum, he's kind of old on the tooth, but Terrence Mann, Eric Gordon is always steady. But Russ Brooks in there. Where's Kawhi? Kawhi Leonard didn't even play.
Yeah, he's so hot and cold.
He didn't even play. And
Paul George is done. And so there's something about that mix right there might be something they need to look at,
Yeah, but when Kawhi wants to come back and slow the ball up, they're going to let him. And here's the problem with the contracts in the NBA. When a player gets old and maybe he should be coming off the bench, but you're paying him $30 to $45 million a year.
Yeah, let's see.
He's starting.
Yeah, he is starting.
Well, we go to the most exciting game that happened yesterday, and I'm sure you guys would never expect it, but part of the reason why is that, you never expect Detroit to give you an exciting game. But Detroit, they traveled to OKC. Yes, they did. They take on the OKC Thunder. And what do you think happened? OKC won. Okay, I'll start with the suspense. But they only won by 1 point, and they won it. They won it at the end because Detroit almost pulled this one off. Let's get right into it. Detroit, without Bojan Bogdanovic, without Sadiq Bey, without Cade Cunningham, without Alex Burks, without Hamidou Diallo, the main scorers. I just named the whole freaking team. Still was in this game because Marvin Bagley was there. Not really. But Marvin Bagley, to start with the losers, Marvin Bagley started for the Detroit Pistons. He played 23 minutes, and he gave him a whopping 8 points. And when you thought he was bad, when you thought 3 points, 8 points was going to do you in and be the weakest link on the team, wrong. You're wrong, because Isaiah Livers started. He played 21 minutes. He didn't really want to play. He only shot the ball 3 times, and he got you 0 points. So 2 of your starters, right? You got a total of 8 points from 2 of your starters. The other ones better start filling in, right? But no. James Wiseman had a pretty good game, 7 for 9, 14 points. Jaden Ivey, 8 for 18, 24 points. And Killian Hayes, 5 for 14 for 11 points. Eugene Omoruyi came off the bench, gave me 14 points. Jalen Duren, the third center, came off the bench for 19 points and 19 minutes and 10 points. And Corey Joseph played 35 minutes. He played more than any of his starters. 33 minutes for 13 points. Something is going on in Detroit, and it doesn't smell good. But anyway, they had a chance to win. But they lost with half a second left on the clock. Now, let me run this down to you. Corey Joseph puts the Pistons up. Okay? They were down by 2 points. He shoots a 3-pointer with 13 seconds left to give the Pistons a 1-point lead. But OKC wins the game on a 2-point putback by Jalen Williams with half a second left on the clock. So let's go through what happened with OKC. A very exciting team. And Shai Gilgeous, as we know, whatever his name is, didn't even play. But this team's up and coming. Jay Williams. There's a Jalen Williams, not the one who put the putback in. He played 32 minutes, was 2 for 3. He's a center. Well, they call him a 4, but he's actually a center. He got 7 points for you. The other Jalen Williams, the one who wins the game, played 37 minutes, was 11 for 19, 27 points. Isaiah Joe, 33 minutes, 4 for 12, 12 points. Josh Giddey, 34 minutes, 6 for 19, 18 points. And this guy, Luguentz Dort, you got to watch OKC just to watch this guy play. Talking about a bowling ball, he goes right through people. He'll finish at the rim. He'll dunk on you. Yeah, that's right. Ask Marvin Bagley about that. Marvin Bagley tried to get to him at the rim. He dunked on him.
Like that boy Zion that can't stay healthy, huh?
And this guy Schroeder, he's just he's like Anthony Edwards with the Timberwolves. No, it's only about 6'2", 6'3", but he'll get to you. 7 for 15, 20 points. They got 6 players that came off the bench for 23 points. But that was the most exciting game in the NBA yesterday. Timberwolves in Detroit.
All right, we took a trip with Utah over to San Antonio's Spurs, one of Clay's favorite teams. Utah 36-40. San Antonio won 19 games, lost 57. So the winner of that game will be Utah 128 to 117. Let's see how this went down.
Went down pretty easy for the Jazz.
San Antonio came on in there with Zach Collins. Zach Collins gave him 31 minutes, 6 of 14 shooting for a big 12 points.
Big 12.
Mr. Julia Champagne.
Oh, yeah.
25 minutes, 1 of 6 shooting for a big 2 points. Mr. Keita Bates Diop. 26 minutes, 5 of 12 shooting for a big 15 points. Mr. Trey Jones, 28 minutes. Gave him 28 minutes, 8 of 12 shooting for a big 17 points. Mr. Branham, Mr. Malachi Branham, 27 minutes, 7 of 12 shooting for a big 21 points. Okay.
5 play. Woo!
Mama Kelsa Haville. Sandro Mama Kelsa.
Mamu Kayla Chevy. Mamu Kayla Chevy. Sandro Mamu Kayla Chevy.
Yeah, y'all parents got to get better with all these names.
He's from Croatia. I guess Mamu Kayla Chevy is a popular name over there. Maybe like
probably
Johnson.
Everybody's name mixed into one.
Yeah.
29 minutes. No disrespect, bro. No disrespect. 29 minutes, 7 of 14 shooting. He gave him 17 points.
17
and also
points.
Mr. Graham. Mr. Devontae Graham gave him 24 minutes, 5 of 10 shooting for another 17 points.
Yeah, that's the name of that tune for them.
We got another 16 from the other 3 players, and they lost.
They lost. Too bad. Sanju Mamu, Kayla Chevy.
You got it. Utah had Mr. Simon Francheo.
But I got to preface Utah. Utah faced them without Laurie Marketing, Jordan Poole, Colin Sexton, Kelly Olynyk, all of their top scorers.
They didn't need them. They was playing the Spurs.
They're not. And wait a minute. And Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, come on, man. Leave the coach alone, man. Alone. He paid his dues, man.
You should be paying. The dues should be higher based upon the performance now. Jeez, they don't even need their team in order to beat this guy.
Oh, you're terrible. All right, Simone Francescio gave him 17 minutes, 2 of 6 shooting for a big 4 points.
4 points.
Mr. Juan Toscano Anderson.
Man, you're gonna be a linguist. You're gonna be a linguist by the time you finish doing when we get big time. You'll be able to pronounce words from Zimbabwe to Algeria.
25 minutes, 3 of 5 shooting for a big 6 points. Mr. Walker Kelser, 21 minutes, 4 of 8 shooting for a big 9 points. Mr. Taylor Horton Tucker, 30 minutes, 15 of 25 shooting for a big 4-1 high score.
Damn. Yep.
Mr. Ocha Agbaji, 25 minutes, 2 of 7 shooting for 10 points. And let's see. Mr. Chris Dunn came off the bench and gave him 17 points for 28 minutes, 6 of 11 shooting.
And Udoka Azubuike.
He gave him 4 minutes, 6 of 12 points.
I know you didn't want that one, so I just jumped in there and just grabbed that sucker.
Utah went 128 to 117.
Woo! Tongue twisters galore.
Woo,
Here in the NBA. Tongue twisters galore. When we were kids, we had books that they were tongue twisters. Reading off an NBA lineup now.
We would always give everybody a nickname with those tongue twister names, though.
I think we should go back to that.
Oh, God.
Okay, everybody. Listen, the Sacramento Kings. Yes, you remember those guys? They used to have Vlade Divac and Chris Webber and Mike Bibby. The days of the Sacramento Kings. They used to make the playoffs every.
Williams, what was the Williams? That dude Williams, the crazy guard, had crazy handle.
Oh, Jason Williams.
Jason Williams.
Yeah, they made the playoffs every year. They never actually claimed the NBA crown, but they were perennial contenders each and every year, and everyone knew they were going to be tough. Well, they hadn't made the playoffs, and I don't even know how long, but they finally made the playoffs, everybody. So if I had an applause button, I'd press it. Next week we'll have that. We'll be able to press the applause button and give them applause for them actually doing something. They traveled to Portland. The Sacramento Kings traveled to Portland to take on the Portland Trailblazers. Without Damian Lillard, without Anthony Simon, without Jeremy Grant, and without Jusuf Nurkic, the top 4 scorers, and they beat the heck out of the Trailblazers. 120-80. 120-80. They beat them by 40 points. They could have called this game halfway
60 through. Points. They beat them by 60 points.
No, 40.
60. Oh, no.
Yeah, 120-80. 20, and then 20 more points to 100. It's 40, right? Right? Well, 40, 60, it doesn't matter.
You're right.
Don't know. Anyway, let's just get on to it. Well, you know, the Trailblazers used to have Bill Walton and Maurice Lucas and Lionel Hollins back in the glory days. They haven't seen them glory days in a long time. When's the last time they made the? I think they made the playoffs, but they don't go far. Okay, Drew Eubanks is now starting, playing 25 minutes, giving you 5 points. Kevin Knox, who used to be a New York Knick, came on and gave you 39 points, 39 minutes for 12 points. That doesn't add up. You should score more than that in 39 minutes. Matisse Thybulle, he does even worse. He comes on and plays 40 minutes and gives you 10 points. Shaden Sharp. No, the Nasir Little. See, I got that wrong. Nasir Little. Nasir Little played 40 minutes, gave you 10 points. Matisse Thybulle, wow, played 37 minutes and gave you 8 points. Thank goodness they had a person named Shaden Sharp on the team who played unbelievable 45 minutes.
Wow.
At least gave him 30 points.
So
they had two players. Huh?
They only had 2 people on the bench, so everybody to play.
Well, you know, you can push some of these people into action. Some guy didn't play because of an ankle sprain. Push him out there for 5 minutes. Another guy,
the right finger.
Yeah, did right finger. Take that sucker up. And then you had 2 other ones, Mr. Ari, whatever, Diacomo, coach's decision didn't play. I would have played that. I would have played. The 2 of them did not play coach's decision. They would have had to put in some minutes for me.
Yeah, man.
Okay, because Sacramento, they were coming with the house. Domantas Sabonis, 27 minutes, 15 points. Harrison Barnes, 27 minutes. Harrison's just had a bad year. 27 minutes, 7 points. Keegan Murray, 22 minutes. Nobody played over 20-something minutes on the Kings, 13 points. De'Aaron Fox, 27 minutes, 18 points. And Kevin Huerter, 21 minutes, 17 points. 10 players came off the bench that gave him 50 points. So they got 70 points from the starters without even trying. And that was it. There was nothing to talk about. They beat the heck out of them in Portland. I can't imagine the Portland fans that paid money to go see this team and watch them just get trounced like this. You can leave at halftime, everybody.
Maybe before halftime.
Maybe before halftime. This game's over.
Minnesota Timberwolves. They
rounding it out
over to Phoenix and said, "What we got for y'all, Phoenix, is absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. We got nothing for you, Phoenix."
They lose 100 to 107.
Well, you know, I think it's more like Phoenix prevailed because we're talking about Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. We're talking about Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley. We're talking about some players. The Timberwolves have a good team.
Listen, no one doubts they have a good team. A game is a game is a game. However, a win is a win is a win. 1 point, 50 points. Same results. Win or lose. Let's get down with Minnesota Timberwolves. Mr. Jaden McDaniels, 25 minutes, 3 of 8 shooting for a big 6 points.
You were the weakest link.
Mr. Rudy Gobert, one of your favorite players, 35 minutes, 3 of 5 shooting for a big 7 points. Mr. Karl Anthony Towns, 34 minutes, 9 of 17 shooting for a big 25 points.
He's back.
He's back. Mike Conley, 32 minutes, 3 of 13 shooting, not too good.
Oh my gosh.
7 points.
He felt his age last night.
Yay. Anthony Edwards, 40 minutes, 13 of 22 shooting for a big 31 minutes. He's being the high scorer.
That's right.
And then you got Mr. Nas Reed came off the bench for 23 minutes and 15 points, plus another 9 points from the bench.
That's right. The 4 players gave you 24 points, and that was it. You remember that Mike Conley came in with Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Way back when, from Ohio State. Greg never played an NBA game.
Conley is 35 years old right now.
Yeah, he felt 35 last night.
He's still doing $22 million. Don't matter.
Minnesota, you can't get anybody a little bit. Well, you know what?
Hey, it don't matter. He's still getting $22 million.
I don't think you're going to go to the finals with a 35-year-old point guard.
He's not down on the bench level of the 1 million, 2 million deals. So he's at 22 million, so he's going to play.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're going to play, Mike.
Phoenix gave him Kevin Durant back time, 29 minutes, 5 of 18 shooting. He did a little 16 points. He didn't get hot last night, but he did enough.
He did enough.
Mr. Josh Okogie, 33 minutes, 4 of 10 shooting for a big 10 points. Mr. DeAndre Ayton, 35 minutes, 7 of 15 shooting for 19 points. And
there
then
we go.
Boys Devin Booker. 36 minutes, 8 of 8 shooting for a big 29 points.
The baby face silent puncher. I mean, he's not silent, but the baby face, I didn't want to say assassin, but let's just use it. Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Cameron Payne gave him 11 points off the bench.
Brought the pain.
23 points from the bench, but it was enough to give him 107 over Timberwolves 100.
They defended their home court. That's the most important thing. They defended home court. Phoenix is back in the win column, and I expect him to stay there as long as Kevin Durant is on 2 feet.
Staying healthy.
If he can stay healthy, Phoenix is going to be right in the mix. And let's get to the Western Conference because it's been, the Lakers have moved up because the Dallas and Utah Jazz and Portland Trail, Dallas and Utah both dropped down. Really, they dropped. Dallas, okay, let's see. Denver Nuggets still lead, okay? On March 30th, 2023, the Denver Nuggets are still in first place and will be there by the time this is over. After playing 76 games, there's only 6 games to go. 51-24, they lead the Memphis Grizzlies by 3.5 games, so that's not going to change. The Grizzlies, 48-28. Now, Denver is 5-5 in the last 10. Memphis is 8-2 in the last 10. So they've been trying to pull the gap up, but they're going to run out of time. Then you got the Sacramento Kings in third place, 46-30, 5.5 games out of first place, 6-4 in the last 10. The Phoenix Suns, boy, are they glad to see Kevin Durant back. 41-35, 10.5 games. They ain't catching nobody. But 4-6 in the last 10. It would have been worse. Kevin didn't come back. And to round out the 5, you got the LA Clippers, 41-36, 11 games back, 7-3 in the last 10. 7-3. Surprisingly, I didn't notice that they had been making the move. 7-3. Okay, next 5. You, Mr. James, what you got for me?
Big time Golden State. They moved their way up to number 6, 40-37, 12 games out of first place. They won 6 of their last 10. But you know what? Moving up it's a strategy. But the safety net is 10 of them are in the playoffs. So they got to play. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves, 39-38. They're 13 games out. They won 5 of their last 10. LA Clay players, they're 38-38. They're still in it. 13.5 games behind. They won 6 of their last 10. New Orleans Pelicans, they're still in there, 38-38. We don't know if we're going to see Zion again this season.
Probably not.
But they won 6 of their last 10. They got a losing streak of 1. And Oklahoma, OKC Thunder.
OKC.
38-39, 14 games out of first place. And they won 6 of their last 4. So all of these guys are pretty safe other than the last 2 because if the Mavericks can win their last couple of games, they might be able to creep into that top 10.
Well, let me talk about the Dallas Mavericks. They're 37-40. They are below 500. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. They don't deserve to be in the play-in. They don't even deserve to be playing. They should shut it down right now and call it a day. They should be paying the fans to come into the arena to watch them and the debacle that they give off every time they play, every time Luka and Kyrie get out there and watch this mess that's happening. Dallas, Mark Cuban should just take the team and just sit them down and pay the league not to let them play. Well, they're in 11th place. They are 15 games behind, and I don't see them making the playoffs because I don't see the Lakers or the OKC losing. I really don't. Or the Pelicans. The Pelicans, maybe they could sneak in there if the Pelicans drop, but I really don't see that happening. If everything stays status quo, it's going to stay status quo. That's it. Then you have the Utah Jazz. They're done. Danny Ainge threw in the towel on this team back in the middle of the season. He started trading off people and trading off to get draft picks. He didn't. Danny Ainge is the GM of Utah. Really? Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
Right. He, last year, he left out of Boston. They appointed Brad Stevens, and he went to Utah. Now, Utah's made a lot of moves, okay? They're really set for next year as far as draft picks go. You know how Danny does it. Yeah. Danny Ainge is a master gambler. He will get you draft picks. He's the reason why Jaylen Brown, Robert Williams III, and Jason Tatum are in Boston. Marcus Smart, too. All those guys were drafted.
Wow. Well, so, they might be looking good then next year.
They're going to be looking good. Portland Trailblazers, there's no hope for them. Damian Lillard ought to be looking to go to a team. I don't know which team he could go to. Maybe Dallas could use him.
I don't know. They got a problem. They got a problem right now. They got to get past their problem. They can get past their problem.
I'll tell you what team really could use him. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. If he can get with Minnesota, because Mike Conley's on his last legs. Okay? He can use him. The San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets are number 14 and 15. They have already been eliminated from any type of playoff consideration, contention, or thought process. They're not going to be in there, okay? The Portland Trailblazers aren't going to make it either. They're 1-9 in the last 10 games. San Antonio's 2-8 in the last 10 games. And the Houston Rockets are 3-7 in the last 10 games. These guys are all in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. We do have some applause there. Yeah, they're not going to make it. That's it for them. Detroit's not relinquishing the hold. They're in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, and they're in first place in the losing column. So we're going to see if anybody can upset. The Detroit almost blew it. They almost blew it the other by almost winning that game, but they managed to settle themselves down and lose. So they're still in the driver's seat for the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. Sweepstakes. They're there.
Bottom of the bottom. They're on the other side of the glass.
Yeah, they're the bottom of the bottom. You can't get much bottom board than they are. They bottomed out. Also in the news in the NBA, I want to talk about this. Curry inks a long-term underarm extension. Big deal. Okay. KD struggles, but is glad to return home. Kyrie, fighting for a play-in is not what I expected. Really? Yes. Well, Kyrie, sometimes you got to fight for things in the life. And since you haven't really fought for anything in the last 10 to 15 years, you've been coasting. This might be a defining moment. It might be. It might be a defining moment for him to actually have to fight for something.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. He'll be all right. They got to go out to dinner or something. Him and
Luka?
No,
you know what? That's Jason Kidd's fault. And Mark Cuban. I mean, Jason Kidd has got to say, listen, Luka, you're not bringing up. He's the coach.
But how many championships does Luka have?
None.
My point. So if Luka really wants a championship, he ought to be able to say, Kyrie, let's talk. Let's see if we can figure this thing out. That's it. But the coach, sometimes the coach, even if the coach says it, this guy here feels he's the star, and unless you bench him,
bench him. Because you're not going to win. You're going to look like a loser coach if you don't bench him. At least if you bench him, you'll get fired, and people will know you have the guts. And if, right, and if they fire you, Cuban will pay you off the rest of your salary, whatever the case may be. So at least you'll be the guy that people will need in order to get in there, because you can't play Luka. You can't let Luka bring the ball up. You can't let him do it. You got a guy named Point Kyrie Irving. Let him bring the damn ball. Excuse me. Let him bring the darn ball up. Let him bring the darn ball up, darn it.
Yeah,
That's what Kyrie does. He brings the ball up. Hopefully, he'll pass it when he gets across half court. Maybe something happens in Dallas, and once whoever brings the ball up, they get across half court, they feel like they got to shoot it, but we'll find out.
Well, now's the time. They better figure it out.
3-7 in your last 10 games. Dallas doesn't look good. You're on the way down. Any
That's
Dallas
but
songs?
You don't have to. I don't
Do
know
we know any Dallas songs? The sun shines brighter, the stars are higher in Dallas or Texas or something like that. Not in Dallas, it's not. Anyway, guys, it's been fantastic. We don't even want to get off from talking because we have so much fun. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Mr. James,
Sir.
in closing, what do you want to say about the Western Conference?
Phoenix, I think they're in great shape. I like Phoenix. I like the Clippers. I think those two teams will be pushing it towards the end through them playoffs.
I'm thinking the Minnesota Timberwolves. Even with Mike Conley, they're going to push somebody very, very hard.
Yeah.
Very, very hard. Yeah. If Karl-Anthony Towns is healthy and Anthony Edwards is healthy, and Rudy Gobert can still get up and down the court a little bit with his aching old knees, they're gonna be a tough out. They better watch out. I just hope that the Suns and the Timberwolves don't meet each other unless it's in the finals.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this pans out.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for showing up. Thank you for viewing. We had a great time. We always have a great time, and that's why we want you to join us. You know what? I think we have to get this chat thing going. We do have a chat, and people I have to do this chat overlay somehow to get it so that people can chime in and say, hey, you guys are really on point with your observations and analyzations, or more than likely they're going to say we really suck. Just to give them something to say.
You ain't pulling no punches, so they ain't got to pull none either. It's okay. We got thick skin. It's all good.
Yeah, we got thick skin. Believe me, we got thick skin. It may not look like it, but we do. 30 years of thick skin. Believe me, you can't do what we did and not have thick skin. Hey, everybody, listen, it's been fun. Enjoy your Thursday, the rest of your Thursday. It's 2:00, which means it's lunchtime. And listen, everyone, be safe. And remember, fans, enjoy yourself. You can root for your team and have fun. But if your team loses, don't lose sleep over it. Hopefully you didn't bet any money.
Man, they got it. That betting thing is getting deep. They got it where fans can bet right there in their seats, man.
Don't listen to these guys. Don't listen to them tell you about betting. Betting is going to ruin your life. It's going to forget about it. All right? Don't even worry about any of that crap. Any money you make in betting, you're going to be giving back 3 times over. It's never worth it. You're going to ruin your marriage, your family, your life. It's not worth it. You are the most important person in sports. You, the fan, you. And if your team is not doing that well, just find another team so you can relieve the stress. That's my theory.
All right. It was real.
It was real. It was real. It was right here. We will see you guys later. Ciao. Have a good day.
Good weekend.